All-new 2018 Honda Odyssey with available Honda Vac. It always bats cleaner.
Welcome to Boston. We are at Fenway Park for the third and final game of this three-game series between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. And the Blue Jays have really created problems for Boston. They've won the first two games, and last night they got up to a very fast start. Top of the order. Did a lot of damage against the Red Sox. That man right there, Teoscar Hernandez, had a two-homer game for the second time this season, and he's starting to open up a lot of eyes.
Yeah, you know, the top of the lineup for the Blue Jays have really been getting things done for them lately. Teoscar Hernandez, the month of September, 7 home runs, 18 RBIs. Josh Johnson, 10 home runs, 19 RBIs. They've really played off each other really well. And Teoscar, remember who he's hitting these home runs against. He had home runs in 3 straight games. That was against the New York Yankees, who are going for the playoffs. And then 2 home runs yesterday against the Boston Red Sox. One of them just happened to be Chris Sale. So it's not like he's picking on some AAA pitchers who've been brought up for the month of September. He's hitting against teams that are trying to get into the playoffs. He just looks comfortable. His hand action and the way the ball is coming off his bat is major league.
He has set a Blue Jays rookie record for home runs in September with 7. He's leading off. That is Hernandez, and then Josh Donaldson right behind him. And Josh has been red hot over his last 2 weeks, hitting .389 with 8 homers and 13 ribbies. And down in the cleanup spot, Jose Bautista against the Red Sox starter Rick Porcello has put up some big numbers, 5 home runs and 12 RBIs. And of course, Bautista loves hitting in this ballpark.
And Rick Porcello needs a big start tonight for the Boston Red Sox. This will be his career high-tying 33rd start of the season. He also had 33 last year when he won the Cy Young. He's one of 4 pitchers who have had multiple complete games this season. He's just 10-17 with an elevated .455 earned run average. He had a couple of good starts before his last start. That last one was against the Cincinnati Reds. Got burned by a grand slam home run in the first inning by Scooter Gennett. It was the shortest start since July of 2015 with Boston. He only lasted 4 innings against the Reds and gave up 4 runs.
Defensively, let's take a look at the lineup for the Red Sox. The outfielder, Benintendi, Bradley Jr., and Rajay Davis gets a start in right. But the big news for Boston is their second baseman is back.
He's hasn't started since September the 24th. That's Dustin Pedroia taking up his spot at second base, that familiar spot. 95th start there. He has started only 4 games in the last 10 days because of some knee problems. And I bet you he went to John Farrell today and said, I got to play today. I've got good numbers against Marco Estrada. My team needs me. They're trying to get into the playoffs. You know, that guy begged to get in the lineup today.
First pitch from Porcello is up for a ball, and we are underway. Teoscar Hernandez was 2 for 5 last night. He struck out 3 times and hit 2 home runs. Fouls this one back.
He's in one of those streaks right now where it seems like everything he hits has been getting some elevation and getting the ball up into the air. What you have to keep telling yourself is, hey, I'm not a home run hitter. Just have a good swing at the ball. You know, you start thinking about home runs and your swing gets a little bit longer, and then you start striking out just a little bit more. Just go up there and have good at bats.
Yeah, a lot of hitters talk about don't try to hit them far, try to hit them hard. And if you hit them hard, chances are they're going to go out. Upstairs, and Porcello strikes out Hernandez. High fastball does the trick. 1 away, and that'll bring Josh Donaldson to the plate.
Boston Red Sox need to have a different plan against Teoscar Hernandez, so they elevate the fastball with 2 strikes, and Teoscar swings right through it, 1 down. This is the guy at the plate that Porcello's got to worry about in the first inning.
Josh Donaldson with 15 first inning home runs this season. That's the most in franchise history in a single season. He's just locked in. He's one of those grooves where if he sees the pitch he wants to hit, he squares it up.
And he's aggressive, and he's taking a good cut. You don't see any check swings right now. You don't see any pitches that are off the plate that he swings at and misses. There are the numbers right there. 15 first inning home runs. Single season Blue Jay record. Beat his own record. See that swing right there? That's an aggressive, confident swing. Yeah, he swung right through it, but he's seeing the baseball, and he's just looking really good at the plate.
That first inning home run last night gives him the major league lead. He's one ahead of Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins. Vasquez going through a series of signs, and Porcello didn't like what he was offering. Donaldson has homered in each of his last 5 road games. Going back to Minnesota. Driven to right and deep. Get up, ball. Get up, and at the base of the wall. Donaldson's headed for second. Bradley's got a good arm. Here's the throw. Not in time. It's not a home run, but it's a first inning double for Donaldson.
It's close. It was close to being a home run. Christian Vasquez, the catcher, wanted to go breaking ball, breaking ball, breaking ball. Porcello kept shaking him off. He had a plan that he wanted. He wanted to go fastball. He went fastball, and Donaldson, I told you, he's been hitting everything. Smashes it over the head of Rajay Davis in right field. Jackie Bradley's got an outstanding arm, but he comes up a little bit short there. Another extra base hit in the first inning for JD.
Well, that's good team defense right there. Davis went for the catch, but Bradley Jr. was backing him up and took the care of him. Donaldson and Bogarts got tangled up there at second. 1 out now. Justin Smoke takes the first pitch strike. Smoke has 3 home runs against Rick Porcello. Only has 7 hits, but 3 of them have been homers. 38 on the season. He's been stuck on 38 for a while.
Minnesota, I think, was the last time he went deep.
And blocked by Vasquez.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody after the game yesterday here at Fenway Park, and it was a Boston Red Sox person. And I casually asked him, why do you pitch to Donaldson in the first inning? You don't need to. And the person said, I don't know. I don't know. I would throw breaking balls off the plate, see if he get himself out, and I'd take my chances with the Smoke and Bautista. The way he's swinging right now, I don't even know why we're pitching to him.
Oak hits a high fly ball to left. Benintendi on the track at the wall. It's off the wall. Donaldson's around third. He's going to score easily as Benintendi went right to the wall, and that was a paint scraper. That thing came almost straight down, hit on the warning track. It's a double for Smoke. And the Blue Jays have another first inning lead.
Well, he thought he had a chance to catch the ball. Benintendi went back there. It was hit so high, he was counting on the ball getting knocked down by the wind. But it kept carrying off the bat of Smoke. And if you get that close to the wall, it's going to bounce over your head and go all the way back down towards the infield. That's extra bases for Smoke. That's his 90th RBI.
It's also his 29th double. Donaldson read it perfectly, and he was standing near third, stepped on the bag and scores. Blue Jays have scored the first run here in 3 straight games in the first inning. So Jose Bautista, we talked about his numbers against Porcello. He's got 5 career home runs. Bautista, .354 career hitter against Porcello. He's 17 for 48.
Loves hitting in this ballpark. Made for this ballpark. He's right on top of the plate. Look at that right foot, right on the batter's box.
Breaking ball, high and deep. Get up, ball. This one's gonna go. Goodbye, home run. Home run number 6 for Bautista off Porcello. A breaking ball that stayed inside.
He didn't let me finish. I was going to say he's built for this ballpark because he's right on top of the plate and likes to take on that green monster in left field. What you can't do is throw breaking balls that stay to the middle in against Bautista because he's going to hurt you. I think you got to pitch him up or away with some hard stuff to keep him away from the green monster. Porcello messed up with that one, and Jose's got himself another home run.
His 26th career home run here at Fenway Park. Now has 58 RBIs in 75 games. Boy, oh boy, this is not what the Boston Red Sox fans were hoping for tonight. They're down 3-0 already, and there's just 1 out.
Those are some loud hits, too, from the Blue Jays. Double, home run.
And a liner right to Bogarts. It's short. Morales hit another hard ball. Let's go back and look at the Jose Bautista home run for Jose. It's his 23rd of the season.
Notice where that right foot is on the inside part of the batter's box. So he's right on top of the plate, daring you to throw the ball inside. When you do, you throw that breaking ball like that, it's not coming back. We have seen that many times in this ballpark from Jose.
Another hard hit ball. Bogarts from his knees skips it across the diamond. Pilar's retired. But another big first inning for the Blue Jays. Justin Smoke an RBI double. That set the table for Jose Bautista. A 2-run home run against Rick Porcello. The 6th time he's taken the Red Sox righty deep. The New York Yankees. The Yankees are playing at home tonight against Tampa Bay. And the Red Sox are down quickly 3-0 thanks to a Smoke RBI double and a 2-run home run by Bautista. Take a look at the lineup for Boston. They've got Dustin Pedroia back. Large part due to those numbers right there. He's 13 for 29 against the Blue Jays starter Marco Estrada. Got 3 doubles and 4 homers. And Rafael Devers in his last 7 games, the young third baseman, has hit .370. They need to get something going offensively. 4 runs on 8 hits last night, 4 runs on 7 hits in the opener, and they just haven't been able to string things together.
They don't have that power in that lineup to knock you out of the ballpark. Marco Estrada, 33rd and final start of 2017, pitching some of the best baseball of the season. Last time out, won a career-high 5th straight decision. His ERA hit .523 on August the 31st. And over his last 4 starts, he has dropped that ERA each time out.
Xander Bogaerts takes the first pitch strike from Estrada. Marco has really been great with his fastball command. That has been the key to his success. This is his 5th start in September. He is 3-0 coming into this game in the month.
When he had his problems in the middle months of this season, the fastball command left him. He couldn't locate, and he was falling behind, and he just couldn't get guys out. When he's locating that fastball like he is right now, it just sets everything else up. Sets up his changeup, sets up his cutter, sets up his curveball.
And there's the changeup for the strikeout. 1 away. Marco Estrada is on a roll, and the defense behind him, when he's on that game, fly balls will be a problem for the defense. In the outfield is Hernandez, Ballard, and the great Jose Bautista is in right field.
73rd career start at Fenway as a Blue Jay. It might be his last start in the outfield for the Jays in this ballpark. I looked it up. He's made some starts in right field, DH, left field, third base, and actually started in first base here. But this is his 73rd start here at Fenway Park. He loves it.
Dustin Pedroia takes a first pitch strike. So cutter off the plate for a ball of a strike. We mentioned Pedroia's numbers against Estrada, 13 for 29. 3 doubles and 4 RBIs. Pedroia's dealing with a bad knee, and he has just not had the ability to play back-to-back games, and he's been out. That left knee of Pedroia, as you can see, he's got a knee brace on. He's just trying to adjust it to get a little more comfort there at home plate.
He's tried different knee braces and did different things to try and find something that worked. He actually took a knee brace, and you know the padding is in the front of the knee to stabilize that knee cap. Well, one day he took it and flipped it around so the padding was in the back. He said, you know what? Kind of like this. This feels pretty good. It's almost like a catcher's knee savers.
Ground ball. This one's right to the shortstop, Owens. Pedroia's retired. 2 quick outs. A strikeout and a ground out.
Can't keep him out of the lineup, though.
Nope. And he knows they need him. They need to stop this mini 2-game skill. It's going to be a challenge against Marco Estrada the way he is pitched in this month. Estrada really pitching with a lot of confidence, and he's pitched great in this ballpark over his last 3 starts.
Told you that his ERA has dropped in each of his last 4 starts. That's how good he has been. It hasn't been this low, his ERA, since June the 13th. He's dealing.
3 straight first pitch strikes for Estrada. Ground ball up the middle. Goins behind second and loses his footing. That'll be an infield hit for Benintendi. Ryan, had he stayed on his feet, had a chance to throw out Benintendi, but he slipped and fell, had no play.
Ball right over the mound, and with the defense shifted up the middle, you can see Goins, the shortstop there. He gets a good break on this ball and actually catches it on the other side of the bag, but just couldn't find his footing. I was watching him after this. He was watching the replay up on the big board after that and pounded the ground after he saw that he had a chance to make the out.
Benintendi looked like he was running okay going up the first baseline. He found a couple of balls off his legs in an at-bat last night in the field. This is Hanley Ramirez. Almost cuts on the first pitch. That's 4 straight first pitch strikes for Estrada. The Red Sox need to get something going, and they need some big swings off the bat of Hanley Ramirez. They don't have a whole lot of thunder in their lineup.
Right, not like they used to. John Gibbons was talking about that before the first game today, about before the game in his office, about the impact of David Ortiz not being in this lineup this season. They just lost such a big bat and a super producer and a guy that everybody could work off of. His big bat is no longer here, and they don't hit the home runs like they used to.
Estrada ahead, 0-2. Fly ball, and that's headed toward the seats. Bautista giving chase, and it is out of play. Big spacious outfield, especially right and center. A lot of room for outfielders to roam.
Hanley was out here early today taking some extra batting practice, stayed around a little bit longer, just trying to get the ball in the air, trying to get that swing started a little earlier. Struggling a little bit over his last 4 or 5 games. They need him to start producing. That's Chili Davis, the hitting coach for the Boston Red Sox. He was watching very carefully, watching Hanley take batting practice today.
Another ball pulled foul. One thing you know when Marco's on his game, there's a lot of funny swings, awkward swings. Hitters are off stride, they're off balance. He'll throw them fastballs when they're looking changeups, and changeups when they're looking fastball, and every once in a while he'll drop in a curveball.
See a lot of pop-ups too. Players that are out on their front foot. Hit it too far out in front, get a lot of pop-ups.
There's a cutter that's going to be off the wall. Hernandez plays it well. Now he drops it again, and they're going to wave Benintendi around. He's going to come in to score. Oscar Hernandez will be charged with an error. He played it initially well, then dropped it a first time. Benintendi had stopped at third, and he drops it a second time, and Butterfield sent the runner home.
Yeah, Andrew Benintendi was stopping at third base, but Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, kept bringing him. If he catches it there, he holds him to a single. There's the first drop, there's the second drop. And Benintendi had come around second, was going to just stop at third base. And there's Brian Butterfield saying, hey, come on, man, you dropped it again, you can score.
So it's a single for Ramirez, an air charge to Hernandez, his first air. And the Red Sox have scored a run. No RBI for Ramirez. Mitch Moreland has had his problems facing Estrada. Pulls this one on the ground. That's the shortstop on the first base side of second. Goins throws out Moreland. But the Red Sox get an unearned run, an error by the left fielder. It's a 3-1 ball game after one here in Fenway.
J-Hap had one of the finest outings of the season in that win over Chris Sale and the Red Sox. Hap told me he's been very pleased with how strong he finished the season. He said last night he felt like he was living on the edges of the plate, using his entire arsenal, and had a pretty good game plan from Russell Martin as to how to go about attacking and getting ahead of guys. As for his overall 2017, even with the injury, Hap considered the year a success, quote, especially the second half. He said he had no issues or setbacks with the elbow. It did take a while to regain that strength and get to a pitch count around the 100 range. Hap's obviously disappointed. The team fell short of the ultimate goal of getting to the postseason, but Hap told me he feels very optimistic with what he has seen these last few weeks, Buck. He says he feels good about the direction the Jays are headed, quote, there's plenty to look forward to in 2018.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty standard reaction for most of the players, and you heard Marco Estrada address that same topic when he agreed to a one-year contract extension. He said, I like what they're doing, I like where they're headed, and I want to be part of it. Says Russell Martin. Martin, the catcher. Russell in last night's game was 0 for 3. He was hit by a pitch. Breaking ball outside. 1-1 count on Russell.
I think he looks good at the plate right now. Since he has come back, he looks stronger, under control with his swings. And he's using the whole field. We've seen him hit some balls to right center field. We've seen him pull balls to left center field, home run to left field. In that Yankee series, this is looking like the Russell Martin that we are used to.
Ball out over the plate. Jackie Bradley Jr.'s got plenty of room in the center. He makes the catch, run away.
Make your projects go further with 2 times the Aeroplan miles when you shop at Home Hardware and Building Center locations from September 20th to 27th.
Great shot of Fenway Park, tucked in among all those buildings in Boston, and it's been a beautiful setting for baseball throughout all 3 of these games. Great weather, 24 degrees again tonight, and just a little hint of a breeze. more summer-like than like the end of September for sure. Goins takes a strike. You saw the catcher Vasquez tapping that dirt down and in. He wanted Porcello, if he was going to miss down and in.
Miss. That's the key word on that. He got a breaking ball down and in, but he didn't miss it earlier in this series. Wrapped it around that pole in right field.
That high fastball going strikes out. It's the same pitch that Porcello struck out Hernandez to start the game. The high fastball.
In a good spot right there. Let's take a little closer look and see what Rick Porcello will feature. Fastball 59% of the time. Last time out, it jumped up to 62. A little slider, curveball, changeup. He's got them all, and he can pitch with all of them.
Darwin Barney takes the first pitch strike. Barney's had success against Porcello, 7 for 17 against the big right hand. He fouls this one off. One thing Porcello does, and he's done this throughout his career, he's a quick worker. He likes to keep the pressure on the hitters. And he had a disappointing outing his last time out. So, as Pat mentioned, he was knocked out of the game after 4 innings. And he certainly wants to redeem himself. And more importantly, stop this mini 2-game slide.
When he first came up as a 20-year-old with the Detroit Tigers, he was a sinker ball pitcher. He'd get a lot of ground ball outs. He was a lot like Marcus Stroman, where he would lead the league in ground ball outs. Now he gives up a lot more fly balls. That home run, that Bautista hit, 37th home run he's given up this year.
Another high fastball, back-to-back strikeouts. A good inning for Rick Porcello. He retires the side in order. We'll go to the bottom of the second. Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead.
The new Little Caesars Arena against the Red Wings. You can catch it Friday on Sportsnet at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific time. Look what we found as we went inside the Green Monster. Now, when the Bruins are in town, Red Sox fans get to stay up to date on the score. And with the Leafs in town playing the Bruins, you'll see this nameplate on the Green Monster. So this fan base, Buck, loves to keep tabs on all their major professional teams.
Yeah, this is one of the best sports cities in North America. They certainly support all of their teams. And when the Red Sox are playing here, just in case there's a Bruins hockey game going on, they've got all those scoreboard names that they'll slide into that manually operated scoreboard out in the Green Monster. Christian Vasquez batting in the 6th spot tonight. Vasquez did not play in the game last night. He played in the opener, hit 5th in the first game on Monday night. He had a rough night in that game. He grounded out 3 times and struck out. Right now, Marco Estrada is really dealing. I mean, he is an artist out there, painting the outside corner with the fastball, dropping that changeup on the outside corner.
I like how he's using his fastball, putting it in the minds early on of the Boston Red Sox. It's no secret. The Red Sox like to work the count, and they're not afraid to take a couple of strikes early on in an at-bat. So why not get some free strikes with your fastball? He's doing that. That looked like a cutter. That was just off of the plate.
3 balls and a strike now to the Red Sox pitcher.
You and I have watched Marco in the past go through a Red Sox type of lineup. Now, he might throw fastballs first time through. He might start using the changeup just a little bit more second time through. He might start mixing in more curveballs third time through. And I think that's what you have to do when you're facing teams as professional type of hitters like the Red Sox have.
You just can't fall into a pattern, and that pattern is obviously up to Russell Martin. He calls all the pitches for Estrada, and Marco follows him.
You just worry about executing, and he has been executing quite nicely in September. 53% of the time he's going to use that fastball and that outstanding changeup. Again, he'll sprinkle in a cutter and he'll sprinkle in a curveball every now and then, but it's basically fastball, changeup.
Oh, that ball low. Looked like it had plenty of the strike zone. Larry Vanover, the crew chief, called that ball 4. Leadoff walk. Let's take a look at Marco and his numbers for the month of September. They're impressive in many categories. This is his 5th start. He is 3-0 coming into this game, and the ERA and opponent's batting average among the best in baseball.
It all started this month here in Boston when he threw 7 innings of shutout baseball and got a no decision against the Red Sox. He then followed that up with a win versus Detroit, then one at Minnesota, and then handcuffed the Yankees last time out. Won that game 8-1, 7 more innings, just 1 earned run.
This is the third baseman, Rafael Devers. First time he has faced Estrada, and you can bet he's going to get a steady dose of that changeup.
His teammates will probably go up to him and say he's got a great changeup. Devers has never seen a changeup like this, I'm sure. You can tell yourself to wait, but it's so good you can't.
And the changeup is one that really plays off a batter's ego, because you don't want to get beat, you don't want to get jammed, and you say wait, but I can't wait that long.
And it's still not there. Now, when you think about that, then you start throwing that fastball. Okay, Devers might have changeup on his mind because he's never seen it before. Marco might cross him up and try and slip a fastball by him.
He got to that high fastball and fouled that out of play. So a 0-2 count with Vasquez taking his lead off first. Reaches for that changeup and gets a piece of it. But Devers is just 20 years old, but he's got a fluid swing and he can extend that. He got a pretty good pitch that he fouled on.
Bat moves nicely. He gets it going and it comes through that strike zone quickly, but he's way out in front of that one. Curveball.
He's got a knack for being able to put the bat on the ball. We have seen that already, and he's just getting his feet wet here in the big leagues.
You know what he has? He's got power the other way. And I think all the great hitters for the Red Sox over the years are left-handed hitters. They just pepper that wall.
That's going to be out of play. Into the seats down the left field line. Devers playing in his 54th big league game. He comes into this game with 202 at-bats, and he's had some ups and downs. He's hitting .297 for the season. 11 doubles, 10 homers, and 26 RBIs.
Had a great week last week. And cued off the end of the bat. He's telling himself, I got to wait longer. Had a great week last week, especially the series in Cincinnati over the weekend. Hit a couple of home runs. Just 1 hit so far in this series.
Estrada wins that battle and strikes him out. That's the second strikeout of the game for Marco. First out of the inning. Marco just wouldn't deviate from his plan. He stayed with that fastball and changeup and gets endeavors to strike out.
Gave him a little bit more movement, if you will, that time, like he was going to rear back and throw a fastball, and then this changeup came out of his hand at 77 miles an hour. But just watching him out of the stretch, it looked like he was going to rear back and throw a fastball through that 77-mile-an-hour and got the second strikeout.
Rajay Davis. Davis takes the first pitch strike. He got a pinch hit double in the 8th inning, drove in a run in last night's game. That came off Tom Kohler. Getting a start tonight with Mookie Betts banged up with that sore wrist. One and one now to Davis. Also blocks that low pitch. Rajay is back home. He grew up in Norwich, Connecticut, and went to the University of Connecticut, Avery Point. Rajay's 36 years old. He started out the season in Oakland, played 100 games with the A's before coming here. This is his 15th game with Boston.
This could be a nice pickup, under the radar type of pickup. Uses his bat with his speed and what he has done in the postseason in his career. Could have some nice effects for the Red Sox in October.
Rajay has 28 stolen bases combined between Oakland and Boston. Lost a grip on that bat with that changeup, off balance swing. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Davis.
He's got 3 hits in his career versus Marco. One of them is a home run. So he knows what he's dealing with Estrada.
You'll see a lot of late swings because these hitters are looking for that changeup. He's able to get to it and foul it out. Christian Vasquez drew a leadoff walk. He's at first. Blue Jays have a 3-1 lead. There's a base hit over Donaldson down the left field line. That's going to get to the wall. Vasquez is headed for third. Davis is going into second. And Rajay Davis with his second straight double. He had a pinch double last night in the 8th inning.
You know, the pitch before that was a fastball, and he fouled it off right over the Red Sox dugout. Looked like he was waiting for a changeup. Well, he got one. The very next pitch was a changeup, and he was able to stay back far enough on that back leg. There's the changeup grip. It's going to come out, but watch Rajay stay back just long enough and square it up. Hits it firmly down into that corner in left field to send the runner to third. There are teams, and we've seen them, sit on that changeup and look for that changeup from Marco. You're going to have to recognize that, read their bats, and use your fastball.
Jackie Bradley Jr. He is 0 for his last 25. And he's trying to work his way out of that prolonged slump.
But what he should think about right now, not necessarily trying to knock in a run here. Make contact. Keep the ball in the middle of the infield. It'll get you a run. What you don't want right here, if you're the Red Sox, is a strikeout or a pop-up. And you get that by being out in front or being a little bit too anxious. And you got the infield playing back. Just try to keep the ball in the middle of the infield.
Three and one now. Xander Bogaerts is on deck, and given Bradley's struggles, he'll soon attack him and have the ability to work around Bogaerts if need be. Ground ball. Vasquez is coming into the scoreboard. He throws out Bradley, but the Red Sox get the run. Another RBI for Jackie Bradley Jr., his 63rd. Vasquez comes in to score, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
He threw him a changeup, 3-1, and he didn't hit out in front. He got it and kept it in the middle of the diamond to get that RBI. As a hitter, you're telling yourself, stay back, just make contact, and you'll get yourself an easy RBI.
2 outs, back to the top of the order. Leadoff man is Xander Bogaerts. He struck out on a Estrada changeup his first time up. Look at the location of that fastball right on the outside corner. Certainly that's not the type of pitch you want to hit on the first pitch of an at-bat.
That looked like a Jay Happ pitch from last night. That's where he lived all night.
Up the middle, base hit. Just going to tie it up. Rajay Davis comes in to score, and it's a 3-3 game. Xander Bogaerts got that cut fastball up out over the plate, and he just took it right back up the middle for an RBI single.
He's a threat to steal also. He's 15 for 16 in stolen bases now. The Red Sox have fought back to tie it. There's the grip. A little spin, and Bogaerts is an excellent breaking ball hitter.
2 outs. Bogaerts takes his lead at first, not running here. And Pedroia takes a strike. Pedroia grounded out shortstop his first time up.
Easier to steal off of changeup, so if you are going, look for something off speed. Not going yet.
Pedroia is late on that pitch. It's a ball and 2 strikes. Pedroia is now 0 for his last 8. Bogaerts a bigger lead, not running. Vanover called it outside.
He bluffed like he wanted to go. He's got 4 fastballs. Looking over to the first base coach to see if I should go.
Still not running. He took a couple steps towards second, but he's not running. Pedroia just wastes those fastballs. Just gets the bat on the ball. He's trying to work Estrada for a mistake. 2 runs in for Boston. It's a 3-3 game. There goes Bogaerts. He's got a terrific jump, and Pedroia pokes it right through the vacated second base position. They're going to wave him home. Here's the throw from Pilar. It's a good one, and a good tag by Martin. Bogaerts is saying, wait a minute. And Bogaerts, you can see him tell Larry Vanover, he never touched me. What a good throw by Pilar and a good tag by Martin, but the Red Sox are going to have a look at it.
Yeah, I think they're going to want to look at it for sure. Larry Vanover got a little upset with Xander Bogaerts, but I think that's just the heat of the moment, where we are in the season, the game, everything like that. And I think Xander told John what he said to him. Pilar goes over and gets the ball, realizes now that he's trying to score, and throws a strike to the plate. Let's see from this angle. I think he's safe.
Yeah, he might have got his arm past the tag of Martin.
He was going on the pitch. Pedroia singles slowly into right field. He never broke stride, and Brian Butterfield, one of the most aggressive third base coaches in baseball, sends him home. There's the reaction at the plate. He got a little fired up, but there's the tag.
Yeah, it was after the fact.
Yeah.
He had swiped his hand across home plate there. Martin's tag is on his leg, and there you'll see clearly he was safe.
Yeah. And that's why Bogaerts acted the way he did, the heat of the moment, and Vanover had something to say to him, but he calmly went over to his manager, had him take a look at it, and everybody's looking at it, and the reaction here at Fenway Park says he's safe.
The ruling on the field is that Bogaerts was out at home. It's a 3-3 game the way it stands now, and if indeed he is out. That'll be the third out of the inning. But Benintendi's behind the play as well, and he could see the hand hit home plate before Martin tagged him out.
You know, Buck, it looked like when Russell caught the ball, he went to tag and his glove got stuck right into the dirt, so he couldn't swipe. Watch when he catches, he goes to tag him. Well, the umpire's in the way. It hit right down in the dirt and stopped his momentum where he was going to just flash tag him. And there's the call.
Yeah, the call is safe. The ruling on the field is overturned. Bogaerts scores. So Pedroia saw the vacated hole at second, just poked the ball through that infield into shallow right center. Pilar made a strong throw, but it wasn't in time.
Watch Russell's glove right into the dirt right there. He can't swipe at him because he gets it stuck down into the dirt, and there's the tag. And that allows Bogaerts to score.
2 outs. Pedroia's at first. He picks up an RBI, his 61st. Boston has taken a 4-3 lead. Remember, coming into this game, the Red Sox, their 42 come from behind wins, and they were trailing 3-1 coming into this inning. And Bogaerts, I mean, he did exactly what a manager and a third base coach wish everybody would do. He never assumed anything. He just kept running and got the wave around third. Estrada makes a nice play on the comebacker. Benintendi's retired, but the Sox score 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors, a man left, and they take a 4-3 lead after 2. He was running on the pitch, and when Dustin Pedroia hit it through the right side of the infield, he never broke stride.
Let me tell you something. Where we are in the season, you better not take anything for granted. You run as hard as you can until that coach stops you. And he is rewarded with a run scored and an RBI for his teammate because he played the game the right way. Brian Butterfield is one of the most aggressive third base coaches in all of baseball. He'll gamble and he'll take his shots, and he'll get runners thrown out every now and then. A lot of times he'll look good just like that.
But he can only gamble if the players give him full effort, and that's exactly what Bogaerts did, running from first. Once he saw that base hit through into the outfield, he was thinking about scoring. Oscar Hernandez takes a strike. It's 1-1.
After this game, the Red Sox have 4 games left in the regular season. If you can't run hard with a 3-game lead at the end of September, I don't know if you belong on a big league field. You have to play the game the right way, especially when you're going for the division.
Well, obviously, you win the division and you play in a 5-game series. And if you get in the wild card, it's all about one and done, possibly. Nobody wants to do that. The Red Sox are trying to win a division for a second straight time. First time ever that they have a chance to go back to back, winning the American League East. They have been in sole possession of first place since August 1st. This is a pop-up. Pedroia going out into the outfield. He hears Davis call for it. Rajay makes the catch, one away. So that'll bring Josh Donaldson to the plate, and he's already had a big impact tonight.
Well, he's had a big impact in the second half. How about on base plus your slugging average in the second half? It's Josh Donaldson out in front. Justin Upton has been great. Jose Abreu has been great. Trout and Altuve have been outstanding, but it's Josh Donaldson with his power, doubles, home runs, his ability to get on base. If they're pitching around him, he'll take what they give him.
Josh Donaldson is now 8 for 14 in his last 4 games. 3 home runs, a double, 6 RBIs. And when he goes to play, he's got a very strict game plan. He knows what he wants to do, depending on who he's facing.
Looks like he wants that ball out over the plate. He's just taking that ball inside. They're going back in there.
Gets jammed. Bogarts is out. That's going to drop for a base hit. Then intending. Plays it back in, and Donaldson is 2 for 2.
What a series he is putting together against the Red Sox. Along with that power and extra base hits, he's playing great defense. He's running the bases, and how about these numbers?
It's a pretty good way to play in a series. 8 for 10, 3 homers, 5 ribbies. The rest of the season against the Red Sox, not so good, just a 108 average. He is certainly wearing them out so far in this series. Justin Smoak hit an RBI double high off the green monster in left. Smoak now with 90 RBIs.
.40 would be a nice number, wouldn't it? 40 home runs.
Considering his previous high was 20, it's a nice round number.
Trying to get to be a switch hitter to hit 40 home runs. It hasn't happened in a while. Carlos Beltran did it.
Breaking ball right on the outside corner. Kendrys Morales homered here last night. It gives Morales 28 home runs. Smoak has 38 home runs. They have 66 between them. They're 2 behind 2 Yankees. Mark Teixeira, Nick Swisher. They hit 68 for the Yankees in 2009. Blue Jays, I know they would love to get to that spot, tie them, and eventually break that record.
They're inching ever closer. 3-1. He's in the driver's seat here.
That breaking ball, he fouled it out. Bautista waits on deck. Jose has homered already tonight. The Blue Jays have now hit 15 home runs in their last 7 games here at Fenway Park. Oscar Hernandez adding to those totals. He had 2 last night, as did Josh Donaldson. 3-2, 1 out. Ball 4. They'll put 2 on for Jose Bautista.
Starting to look like the first inning after an out. There was a double, and then this. Breaking ball on the inner half to Jose Bautista. See you later. That gave the Blue Jays that 3-0 lead. Jose with yet another home run here at Fenway Park. It's been his own little personal playground over the last few years.
26 home runs hit as a visiting player here at Fenway Park. Hit a breaking ball off of Porcello. Interesting to see how they go after him here with 1 out. Blue Jays trail 4-3. This looks like one of those old-fashioned Blue Jays Red Sox slugfests. And it's starting to unfold.
Last man standing, right? Now, Bautista, 39 home runs now against the Red Sox since 2010.
Now.
He hit a breaking ball for a home run that last time up. See if they change now and just try and stay with the fastball either in and out or up.
With a breaking ball, he missed a good pitch to hit. He was looking breaking ball and fouled it back.
Now you're asking for trouble there. Jose, this season, again, we talk about stats everywhere. They have a stat for high pitches, batting average on high pitches. He's batting 123 on high fastballs up in the strike zone.
That's what they tried there, and he checked his swing in time. Everybody has all the numbers, and the teams, they have even more numbers in depth. And they pour over those numbers endless hours trying to put together game plans.
I think it helps to frame what you want to do for a game plan, but you got to be able to read bats and have a feel for what's going on in the game.
Bautista caught looking. The fastball right down the middle gets him. 4 strikeouts for Porcello.
See, when you read bats, you know that he was looking for a breaking ball. So you can throw that fastball and throw it right down the middle and feel pretty safe that it's going to be a strike. Jose was caught looking for a breaking ball, and Porcello's got his 4th strikeout.
2-away now for Kendrys Morales. He lined out to Bogarts in the 1st inning. And that's a good sign for the Blue Jays when he's hitting the ball to the shortstop, right, left center alley, right center alley. That's when he's at his best.
That's where he's gotten a lot of RBIs lately.
Donaldson's at second. And another base hit, a little looper that dropped in front of Benintendi. Smoke walked. He's at first. Bautista called out on strikes. Porcello went with a little quicker delivery that time. Just barely came set and then busted Morales inside with a fastball.
No threat of the runners running right here. His concentration's got to be on that hitter. 2 outs. Morales is looking like he's trying to catch something away, hit it the other way.
He was looking away. Takes the strike inside. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Porcello really took a long time before he delivered that last pitch to Morales. It almost looked like he was going to step off and ask for another sign. Now, he hasn't left anything over the heart of the plate in this at bat to Morales.
I think he was rethinking that.
Looked like it the way he was taking so much time. There's that ball out over the plate. That's a base hit in front of Jackie Bradley. Here's the throw to the plate. It's a strong throw, not in time. The ball comes out of Vasquez's glove and goes back to the fence, but Donaldson scores. Morales picks up another RBI. That ball out over the plate. He's been wearing it out.
It looked like it might have been a changeup right there from Rick Porcello, and with 2 strikes against a good hitter who's looking for the ball out over the plate to go the other way or up the middle, not a good decision. That ball is ripped to center field. Bradley comes up firing, but it's a little bit off target. Another swipe tag by Vasquez. Somebody's going to pick up an error, maybe Vasquez, to allow Morales to get to second base. They weren't going to get Donaldson at the plate anyway.
It's an RBI for Morales. The error allows Morales to go to second. Each team has committed an error now, and Pilar takes the strike.
Just something soft away was not the call there.
Especially with 2 strikes. RBI guys like Morales, they're just trying to use the whole field, stay on it with 2 strikes. They're cutting down their swing. Kevin Pilar. Ball on the strike. Four ball game. The hits are even at 5 apiece. Each club has committed an error.
Two more out there for Pilar. Can't leave him stranded. Not in these types of games.
Now you just get a sense that this game is going to go back and forth all night long. Great opportunity for Pilar right here to knock in a couple of more. He's got the count in his favor. 2 balls and a strike. It's a piece of that breaking ball way off the plate, but with 2 strikes, he just protects the plate. Porcello in a jam here with 2 outs. That high fastball, he has used that to get out of jams tonight. That's another strikeout. A couple of strikeouts in the inning, but the Blue Jays score a run on 2 hits and a nifty slide by Josh Donaldson. He slides in safely ahead of the throw from Jackie Bradley Jr. The Blue Jays have tied it.
Baseball live with the MLB.com at-bat mobile app. Stay connected to the game's best players all season long with Game Day, live game video highlights, radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB.com at-bat today. It's your #1 app for live baseball. Bye.
Thank you very much, Hazel. And we are scoreboard watching ourselves as the Yankees and the Rays are scoreless. And in the top of the fourth, Matt Andres on the mound for Tampa Bay, and Luis Severino, who is really throwing the ball well for the Yankees. Severino just 23 years old. He's really blossomed this season. Hanley Ramirez loses the grip on the bat, flies back to the backstop. The Yankees, they are trying to close ground on the front runners, the Boston Red Sox. New York is playing Tampa Bay. They will play them tonight and tomorrow. And the Blue Jays will open up a 3-game weekend series. All 3 of those games are day games. So make sure you check that out. Oh. Hanley Ramirez facing Marco Estrada with a ball and a strike. Pretty good pitch just off the plate. Severino starts for New York tonight. Sonny Gray goes to the mound tomorrow. Blue Jays are going to get Tanaka, Sabathia, and Montgomery over the weekend.
So they catch a break not having to face Severino. That guy is lights out.
Oh, what a good changeup. A 2-1. That's definitely a fastball count. And there's nothing definite about Marco Estrada.
Well, especially after he fired 3 fastballs to get the 2-1. It must be nice to have that in your back pocket at any time you need it.
He has to. He has to be able to throw that changeup over any time because he's pitching in the upper 80s, low 90s. There's a deep drive. The only question is fair or foul, and it's fair by a wide margin. Hanley Ramirez providing some pop. That's his 23rd home run of the season, and the Red Sox have retaken the lead.
You know, he looked so bad on that 2-1 changeup. Marco went right back to the changeup, and he knocked it out of the ballpark. Didn't hit it up into the seats. He knocked it out of the ballpark. So he's feeling pretty good about himself. It's been a while since he had homered. Changeup. And way deep to left field.
That's an interesting at bat. And this is a high changeup. There's no doubt about it. The only question is whether or not it's going to be fair. And it was fair. And way out of here. He made a great point about the previous pitch and how he was fooled badly. Makes you wonder if he had set up Marco taking a wild swing on that changeup, feeling that he was going to get another one. Because it looked like he was sitting on the second.
Yeah, he got that one like he was looking for it.
Mitch Moreland grounded out second his first time up. There's an opposite field base hit, and that crosses up the shift. Moreland got jammed on it, gets a base hit. Let's go back to the Hanley Ramirez at bat and 2 pitches. The pitch before the home run.
Changeup way out in front. You can see him now rethinking himself. Going, okay, maybe he's going to throw it to me again. He gets another changeup, waits just a little bit longer this time, and see it. That breaks the tie and puts the Red Sox back out in front.
Yeah, veteran hitters, they'll do that from time to time. Say, oh boy, I was really fooled on that one. But you're not going to fool me again. Moreland's aboard with an opposite field base hit. This is the catcher, Christian Vasquez. He drew a walk and scored back in the second. Luis Santos up and throwing. Boston has a 5-4 lead. Santos pitched the 9th inning in last night's game, but had a very quick 1-2-3 inning. So he's the first one up for the Blue Jays here. 3rd inning in Fenway. Fouls that one off the mask of Russell Martin. Catcher courtesy. Here's your mask. Sorry about the foul ball.
Yeah, I'll step out to let you get your thoughts back. Vasquez is going to hit. I think it's just a matter of time. He lost a whole year to an elbow injury in his development. Here's the foul ball. Just glances off the mask and knocks it off.
Now, Vasquez had Tommy John surgery. I think the only two catchers I can recall in recent memory, Vasquez and Matt Peters, two catchers that had Tommy John surgery. And his arm has come back as strong as ever.
Boy, has it ever. He got a pick off the other day, got a caught stealing the other day. And the bat is starting to catch up with the defense for it.
Line drive, base hit into center field. Villar gets it back in. Moreland stops at second. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. John Lackey on the mound for the Cubs. He's allowed just 2 hits and a run. He's matched up against Michael Walker. Walker 2 hits, no runs, no walks, and 7 strikeouts through 5 innings. Of course, the Cardinals playing for their postseason lives and trying to keep the champagne on ice in St. Louis.
Cubs trying to wrap it up so they can get their pitching staff in order for the playoffs. Milwaukee still hanging around. Colorado had a big win today. It should help them get that second wild card.
A big in many ways win, 15-9. Devers bunts it foul. I don't think I want Rafael Devers bunting in this situation. Here in the 3rd inning, he's got power. I think he'll get a visit from Chili Davis on that one.
I think he did that on his own. Donaldson was back at 3rd base, and it was a half-hearted effort, like he was trying to bunt for a base hit. Got to swing away here.
Yeah, he's got power in this situation. I mean, there have been 9 runs scored. We're in the 3rd inning, and there's nobody out. I don't think you want anybody bunting in this situation, especially when a guy like Devers is hitting. Can hit it out of the ballpark. Devers has got terrific power to all fields. Years ago, you'd get a veteran standing on deck when a rookie did that. He'd holler at him, "Hey, swing the bat, kid.
Swing it, let it go." I think Brian Butterfield, 3rd base coach, said something to him like, "We don't need that. We need you to swing it." Out in front of the changeup again.
Brian Butterfield, he is on top of everything. And of course, he did a great job coaching Bogarts around 3rd on that base hit by Pedroia to right. Ground ball. Smoke has time to get the lead runner. That's all they're going to get. Ball was slowly hit. 1 out. Let's check in again with Jamie Kemp. Yeah, that's the spoiler role there being played by the Reds. Joey Votto, 1st inning home run in Milwaukee.
We talk about Josh Donaldson, 1st inning home runs. Joey Votto's in the top 5. I believe that's 11 1st inning home runs for him this season.
Rajay Davis hit a double off Estrada his last time. (5-4). Boston leads it. Hanley Ramirez with a leadoff home run here in the 3rd. 2 balls and no strikes. Santos obviously has had plenty of time to be ready if needed. Red Sox have 5 runs on 8 hits off of Martin. He had given up 9 hits in his last 3 starts here in Fenway over the course of 20 innings.
There's a good fastball on the outside part of the plate. He hit a changeup last time for that double down in the corner in left field. Jay is stepping out and he's thinking it's almost like he's waiting for that changeup.
Well, it's imperative Russ Martin picks up on that. And sometimes you can sense it because the guy's not committing after that fastball. The timing is such that catchers can identify, oh, he's looking off speed. And Russell, he has to call the game. Marco follows his lead.
I'm going to go back to that fastball. Away.
3-1. Blue Jays at double play depth. Marlins at third. Devers is at first. Another fastball. And he's been able to keep everything away from Davis. He hasn't given him much to hit. Davis hit a changeup for that double his last time up over the third baseman and went all the way to the wall and left.
I think they picked up on that. Now 3-2, 1 out. Devers is 3 for 4 in stolen bases this year. They might elect to start that runner.
Not running here. There's a base hit to right. That's going to drop Marlins in to score. Devers is headed for third. Here's the throw from Bautista. Not in time. Rajay Davis is second hit of the night. It's an RBI single to right.
Jammed him.
Gets another run here.
Yeah, he jammed him. It was a good pitch, but he fought it off, and that's going to be it. Todd Gibbons has already made up his mind. He wants to go to the bullpen. Tonight, not his night.
He has been so good in this month of September. This is his 5th start in the month. He was 3-0 coming into this game, but tonight the Red Sox have touched him up for 6 runs on 9 hits, and he's out of the ball game. Santos in to face Jackie Bradley Jr. Another run. He's up over 100 RBIs again this season. Now it's 104. He's reached the 100 RBI mark in 5 of his last 6 seasons. Santos pitched the 9th inning in last night's game. This is his 9th appearance of the season for the Jays.
He's thrown 15 innings at 12 strikeouts and just 4 base on balls. Right now, he needs some kind of ground ball to get out of this inning. There's some speed over there at first base in Rajay Davis.
Rajay has 28 steals. There he goes. Pitches down and in. No chance for Martin. Tough pitch to handle. Russell thought about it, but it was going to be a very iffy possibility, and Davis picks up his 29th stolen base of the season.
He's got such
Green monster seats. Hey, it's early, and no deficit is too big to overcome here at Fenway. Second home run allowed by Porcello, and he'll take over the American League lead in that department. He's now surrendered 38, one more than Ariel Miranda of the Mariners.
You know, Darwin was talking the other day about, quote, changing the swing a little bit to elevate the ball just a little bit more. That's going to be his 6th home run of the season, a little bit more of an uppercut. So I was watching him in batting practice today, and he was doing this. Swinging, he hit a lot of balls into the green monster seats. Watch this side view, the angle of the bat, how there's some loft into it. The angle, trying to get the ball airborne, and he did.
Well, and Porcello's pitching right into that swing. He has pitched up with his fastball tonight. Barney caught that fastball on an upward swing and hit it deep into the green monster seats. Porcello now has surrendered 38 home runs last year in his Cy Young Award season. He gave up just 23. Gave it into ballpark.
Was the problem in his last start. He gave up a grand slam home run to Scooter Gennett in the 1st inning. It only lasted 4 innings.
Oscar fouls it back.
You know who came in for him when he got knocked out? David Price.
That's the last time Price pitched. He came in relief. He's made 2 relief appearances and thrown the ball well, and that's his role now for the rest of this season at least. There's a base hit for Hernandez. Made a nice adjustment, stayed on that outside pitch and rips it into center, a 2-out single. And that'll bring Josh Donaldson to the plate, and like I said, it's the 4th inning, folks.
Yeah.
Don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere.
You might want to go and make yourself a sandwich, but don't go anywhere.
It's a long way from being settled. This is Carl Willis, the pitching coach. And just like that, the Red Sox have some action in the pen.
Carson Smith has grabbed his glove. He'll start to throw down in the Red Sox bullpen. The Red Sox need a win, and they're not going to wait around a long time for Porcello to get things figured out. He's given up 2 home runs. The Blue Jays hit 5 home runs last night. They also had 2 homers in the opener on Monday night. They have 9 home runs in 3 games. And nobody hits home runs like the Blue Jays here in this ballpark. That ball in a pretty good spot for Donaldson.
You can tell he's seeing the ball. He's not even offering at that pitch. Josh is already 2 for 2 tonight. 3 hits last night with a couple of home runs.
Turns on that pitch and bounces it in front of the Blue Jays dugout. Donaldson had 3 hits on Monday night, 3 hits last night, 2 hits so far tonight because he's only been up twice. That's a pretty good series. I don't think he's done yet.
Only the 4th inning.
Oh. 2 inside, 2 outside.
In, out, in, out. I think that's what you have to do. I don't think you necessarily throw high fastballs to Josh Donaldson. He's proven that he can hit those high fastballs.
He's one of the best high ball fastball hitters in the game. And he takes that one downstairs. There's no slouch behind him either. Justin Smoke. Smokey has doubled, driven in a run, and walked. behind Smoke, Bautista has homered tonight. There goes the runner. Cut on and missed. The inning is over. But the Blue Jays get another run. Darwin Barney hits a 2-out solo home run, his 6th of the season. They've closed ground on the Red Sox. Aaron Luke coming on for the Blue Jays. Darwin Barney gets that high fastball and hits it into the green monster seats in left. Blue Jays still trail by 4.
Teoscar Hernandez with a base hit in the top of the 4th there. And I talked to manager Bobby Meacham, and he told me that in AAA he actually got off to a slow start. Meacham, along with hitting coach Devon White, watched Hernandez at BP and concluded he wasn't getting much separation with his hands. He wasn't getting it back enough as he was getting ready to hit. White worked with Hernandez a lot in the cage and straightened it out pretty quick. Meacham said it wasn't a big deal, big adjustment, but just enough to get himself in a better launch position. He also got more comfortable in his new surroundings in Buffalo, his new teammates. That's what you saw when his numbers improved with the Bisons. Now what you're seeing, Meacham tells me, is Hernandez is more patient at the plate, not chasing pitches like he was doing when he first got to Buffalo. Meacham said
Cubbies trying to wrap up the National League Central Division. In New York, Aaron Judge doubles in 2 runs to give the Yankees a 2-1 lead. Making a strong case for himself for Rookie of the Year and MVP.
Kind of like that guy in Houston for the MVP. He's not bad either.
Jose Altuve. Altuve got hit in the arm, but he was pleased to find out there was no fracture, and he came back and played, went 1 for 4 in that game today as Moreland grounds out the smoke.
Gives him 200 hits. Again, 4 straight seasons that he has had 200 hits. Looks like he's going to win another batting title.
He's been a terrific hitter, and it hasn't been many times where a hitter put 4 consecutive 200-hit seasons together.
That's just the 5th time since 1950 that a hitter has had 4 consecutive 200-hit seasons.
2 outs for Christian Vasquez. Vasquez has walked and singled. Ball and a strike to the Sox catcher. We're just in the 4th inning. There have been 14 runs on 18 hits so far. This is a more typical Fenway Park ball game between the Red Sox and the Blue Jays. Long way to go.
Lots of home runs, lots of extra base hits.
Vasquez swings at that changeup. That's that pitch that you mentioned is so effective.
That's why his splits are better against righties than they are against lefties. Righty-handers hitting just .254 against Loopy this season. Lefties .286 coming into this game. And right-handers, he's given up 1 extra base hit to a right-handed batter over his last 39 at-bats. Fastball inside, a little changeup down and away.
Aaron Luke came in to start this bottom of the 4th inning. The first 2 to ground out. Now he's ahead of Christian Vasquez. Carlos Ramirez loosening up. As Pat mentioned, going to be probably an inning at a time. Vasquez strikes out. Good inning for Aaron Luke. But will go to the 5th. Blue Jays trail 9-5. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Greg Son in the Samsung broadcast studio.
MLB.TV Premium. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, get a free subscription to At Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Thank you very much, Hazel. And the Cubs have a 5-1 lead over the Cardinals. They're the bottom of the 7th in St. Louis. Cleveland, they're ahead of the Twins 3-0. As they put a big one on the Twins tonight, and the Indians, where they're getting a lot of production up and down the order. They went in Carnacion 2 for 2 tonight with an RBI. Edwin has 104 RBIs tonight.
Another shutout going for their pitching staff.
Salazar's out of the game, 4 2/3. Mike Clevenger is in now. They say Clevenger is going to pitch the rest of the way out of the bullpen to get ready for the postseason. Dustin Smoke leads things off for the Blue Jays here in the 5th. Well, that's a good looking pitch right there, and Vasquez dropped it.
Porcello's looking in like, isn't that a strike? It's 1-1. He's got 8 strikeouts tonight. His season high is 9 against the Yankees back in April. Other than the home runs, he's been okay.
2-run home run to Bautista on a breaking ball back in the 1st. A 2-out home run solo shot to Barney in the 4th. Takes a close one. Bautista's on deck. He has now hit 6 home runs against Rick Porcello in his career. Smoke takes ball 4. Base on balls become very interesting in a game like this.
The diverse Civic family, our most powerful lineup yet. Honda, proud fan since 1977, and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Justin Smoke draws the leadoff walk. This is Jose Bautista. He's already homered against Porcello tonight. This could get interesting if the Blue Jays get a couple more base runners on this inning. Porcello has to pitch 5 complete innings to qualify for the win. He was taken out after 4 innings in his last start.
Wasn't happy as they came back to win that game.
Pop up behind home plate. Vasquez makes the catch, and Bautista's returned. We got another pitch he thought he could hit out of the ballpark and popped it straight up.
Struck him out last time with fastballs, so went right after him again with the fastball. Jose missed that one, he knows it.
One out, Kendrys Morales. Morales had an RBI single in the 3rd. Kendrys homered right at the top of the Green Monster in last night's game. A 2-run home run in the 5th. One of 2 home runs the Blue Jays hit in that 5th inning. Hernandez hit the other.
That RBI hit that you were talking about came on a changeup with 2 strikes out over the plate.
Breaking ball, Moreland. 2nd for 1. Bogart's return throw in time for Moreland. A 3-6-3 double play. Another breaking ball gets the double play for Porcello. And the Blue Jays are done in their half of the 5th. for the Blue Jays, and it didn't go so well for him. Just 2 1/3 innings pitched, 80 pitches over that outing. He was charged with 7 earned runs on 9 hits, and he gave up a couple of home runs, and he is out of the ballgame early. That's the shortest start of this season for Estrada. And now he'll be the 4th pitcher for the Blue Jays. This is Tim Mesa.
Yeah, get used to these 1 innings now the rest of the way for the Blue Jays until they take the lead. 16 games for Mesa. He's 1-0. Had a chat with him today, and I was asking him how it was going here, and you know, he was telling me, he said down in the minor leagues they were grooming me for 2 innings. I'd throw 2 innings at a time, knowing that that's what I would come up to the big leagues to do, to throw 2 innings. I was getting ready for that, but he's found out that it's more specialized up here, especially for lefties, that he's going to have to use his slider against left-handed batters. He's going to get a couple of them in this inning right here, but he's got a good fastball and he's got a good slider. I think all he needs now is a little experience to face big league hitters and get an idea of what it's like to face them.
Rafael Devers goes after the first pitch and pops it up. Donaldson quickly calls for it. Third baseman waits on it and makes a catch. One out for Mesa here in the 5th.
He has a good slider and he'll use it. Just has to be, understand where he is in the lineup, who he's facing, who's on deck. He says they don't talk about that in the minor leagues. So if you have a right-hander up right now and a lefty on deck, you might not give him your best pitch, your best fastball at a fastball count.
Fastball for strike 1 to Rajai Davis. Davis got the start tonight. He's made the most of it. He's 2 for 2. He's doubled, singled, scored a pair of runs and driven 1 in, and just for good measure, he has a stolen base. His 29th of the season. That's a slider in the dirt. 1-2 now.
He was saying also that he's finding out there are outs in the upper parts of the strike zone if you make a pitch. If you've got hitters set up for fastballs up, you can get outs that way. In time, those last 2 pitches, he's overthrown those sliders trying to get the strikeout.
Tim Mesa, Rafael Devers popped him up, and now Rajai Davis hits one past the Red Sox dugout. Bottom of the 5th inning, Boston leads it 9-5. And a big 5-run 3rd inning. 5 runs on 6 hits, 2 home runs in that inning. That's well fouled off the bat of Davis. Davis strikes out, caught looking, strike 3. Amazing. 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th.
That's good use of your fastball. His slider was hit a long way down the left field line, so you come back and you lock him up. It's 93 miles an hour, but it's right there.
Good fastball at 94. Jumps ahead of Jackie Bradley Jr. Slider is hit high and deep down the left field line, and it is a foul ball. Not much room down there. That ball slicing off the bat of the left-handed hitting Bradley. Bradley's really scuffling. He's 0 for 2 tonight. He is 0 for his last 27.
I see a lot of movement up at the plate from Bradley. So a high fastball would be nice. There's David Price starting to get loose.
Yeah, we might see Price come in to start the 6th. Mays has buried those sliders in the dirt. He hasn't been able to really make a good pitch with it. You can see him shaking his head, just trying to make it break too much.
It looked like his foot got stuck or didn't have a good landing area when he let that one go.
Nice play by Donaldson. Bradley is out. Bang, bang at first. Tim Mays at 3 up, 3 down with a strikeout. Has a good 5th inning. Josh Donaldson has had a good series with the bat and a good series with the glove. Jackie Bradley Jr. looking for a hit to snap that long over is denied by Donaldson. Regular season tomorrow at noon Eastern time. The Twins will be in Cleveland to take on the Cleveland Indians. It starts at 9 a.m. Pacific time, so make sure you check that out. Good pitching matchup in that game. Urban Santana at 16-8 goes up against Carlos Carrasco at 17-6. As he fourth and final game or third game of that 3-game series. Currently, the Indians have a 3-0 lead, bottom of 6 over at the Twins.
Minnesota trying to hold off the Angels.
Kevin Pillar grounds out to third base.
Devers, you mentioned he had made an error in 5 consecutive games. That time got a little bit too quick. The ball popped out of his glove, but he had the hand-eye coordination to calmly catch it with his bare hand and make the out. Porcello gave up a leadoff walk last inning, got a pop-up and a ground out. Now he gets another ground out in the 6th.
First pitch breaking ball to Russell Martin. Russell's 0 for 2. Blue Jays 5 runs on 7 hits. Blue Jays have hit 2 home runs again tonight. Jose Bautista 2-run homer in the 1st. Darwin Barney a solo shot in the 4th. Blue Jays have now hit 118 home runs here at Fenway Park over the last 10 years. That's the most by a visiting team. That's 15 more than any other ball club coming in here to Fenway.
Amazing. Amazing. They got a lot of right-handed power hitters over the last few years. That can explain it.
Up the middle, Pedroia to his right. Goes out Martin.
Make your projects go further with 2 times the Aeroplan miles when you shop at Home Hardware and Building Center locations from September 20th to 27th.
Rick Porcello will walk off the mound with 2 outs here in the 6th. He's in line for the win. A couple of home runs, but his offense scored him enough runs, and now David Price, the former Blue Jay, will make his 3rd relief appearance of the season. Of the season, he picked up the win on Friday night at Cincinnati. He threw 2 2/3 scoreless innings, allowed 3 hits, and he threw 40 pitches in the outing, and that outing was in relief of Rick Porcello.
Yeah, he got the win in that one with 2 2/3 scoreless innings. He's had a tough season. He's been on the disabled list a couple of times this year. Began the year on the DL, came off in May, went back on in July, came off in September, and he was reinstated from the DL on the 14th of this month. He's made a couple of relief appearances. He's had 7 career relief appearances. Remember when he first came up with Tampa Bay? He was pitching out of the bullpen. Made 4 relief appearances in 2008, so this isn't anything new. And I think Blue Jay fans remember the relief outing he had in the division series against Texas, when he picked up R.A. Dickey and won Game 4 down in Texas.
Oh. So he has thrown the ball once again very well, and the elbow is healthy. That was the concern. He had a great spring, and then just overdid it in the spring, and they shut him down. He did not make his season debut until the 29th of May. 96, and you would expect he'd have increased velocity working out of the pen now.
Shorter spurts coming out of the pen. That relief outing again against the Reds, 2 2/3 scoreless. He had just 3 hits and had 4 strikeouts. His fastball's humming.
In that outing in Texas, that was Game 4 of the ALDS against the Rangers. He came in relief of R.A. Dickey in the 5th inning. He pitched 3 innings. He actually picked up the win, but he allowed 6 hits and 3 runs. But the Blue Jays kept scoring against Texas. 2-2 pitch to Goins. Bounce back to Price. And that's the inning. Goins bounces out to the pitcher to end the inning. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. Boston has a 9-5 lead. Ramirez coming out of the pen. extras like extra space to stretch out on your flight. Find out more about the benefits of premium economy at westjet.com/plus-fare. Now time for the schedule ahead, also brought to you by WestJet. And the Red Sox and Blue Jays will wrap up the series tonight. Blue Jays will go to New York, have an off day on Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that'll wrap up the season. And make a note, all three of those games are day games. Friday, 1 o'clock, Saturday, 1 o'clock, and Sunday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So there are 3 day games in New York. New pitcher for the Blue Jays is Carlos Ramirez.
Carlos worked in the game on the 25th in this series, an inning, clean inning. He's listed at 6'5", 205 pounds from Santo Domingo, Dominican Republic. And what a find for the Blue Jays. He looks like a big leaguer. He's got those long arms, long legs. He crossfires that ball. He stands on the third base side of the pitching rubber. He crossfires that against righties, down and away. Done a good job for him. 277 earned run average in 13 innings in the big leagues since being called up.
Xander Bogaerts bounces it towards second. Arnie waits on it. Bogaerts is read tied. One away here in the bottom of the 6th. Ramirez has been a very pleasant surprise. I don't think anybody knew what to expect once he came to the big leagues. We all knew he hadn't allowed a run in the minor leagues all season long, but I don't know that even Pete Walker had any idea he'd have the type of success he's had. This is his 11th outing.
He wanted to see. He wanted to see him. I remember in August asking him, hey, you know, who's going to come up or who would you like to see? He goes, well, that Carlos Ramirez, really, I got to see what we have here. Nobody knew anything about him. He has rocketed up the ladder in the farm system. You know what I like about him is his ability to throw quality pitches. There's another grounder.
Pedroia grounds out to Barney. Ground balls.
For a guy who hasn't pitched that much, his ability to hit the corners, inside and outside, he's got a good understanding of pitching, and then has the ability to throw it on the corners. He's given up just 2 home runs since being recalled. That was really his only bad outing since he's been called up.
Andrew Benintendi takes a funky swing.
And he's asking if that's a strike, and it's right on the corner.
0-1, 2 outs. Yeah, the only bad outing that he had was that one outing on the 20th against the Royals. He gave up 4 runs on 3 hits, 2 home runs in that outing. But other than that, he has been impressive. Teoscar Hernandez, the left fielder, comes in, and another good inning for Ramirez. 3 up, 3 down, no problem. We'll go to the 7th. Blue Jays still trail by 4. top of the 7th inning. The Yankees trail the Red Sox by 3 games. Luis Severino, the starter for New York tonight, has struck out 9, and that's significant because it gives him 230 strikeouts for the season. That ties him with CC Sabathia for the 3rd most ever in a season for a New York Yankee pitcher. Tonight he passed David Cone, and now he has tied CC Sabathia. 1 more strikeout tonight, and he'll move into 3rd place all by himself. The 3rd best strikeout season for a Yankee pitcher. And he's just getting started.
Remember when we saw him last year? We were like, well, maybe he's a bullpen guy. Maybe he's a setup guy. He worked with Pedro Martinez. He got a changeup. He's got the great slider and, of course, the great fastball. Now he's got a 3-pitch arsenal.
And he throws 100.
Yeah, well, that helps.
Yeah.
And as they say, the rest is history.
Yeah, he's given up a run on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts tonight. His ERA 2.98.
And Joe Girardi, I remember asking him in spring training, Joe, is he a reliever or is he starting? He goes, how can we not look at him as a starter? He's 23 years old. He throws in the upper 90s. How can we pencil him in and say he's a reliever?
Barney is called out on strikes.
Available Honda sensing in the all-new 2017 CR-V, designed to help keep you safe wherever you play. Honda, proud fan since 1977 and the official vehicle of the Toronto Blue Jays.
Great shot of downtown Boston. We're about 7-8 blocks away from that area. I mean, it's a beautiful night here. Comfortable. Good crowd on hand. Have been terrific crowds all 3 games in this 3-game series.
Tons of Blue Jay fans, and they were been running into them for 3 days, and they can't believe how nice the weather is here.
It's been summer-like. People are out enjoying the Boston Commons. They're walking around downtown. Everybody's taking the sightseeing tours. It's been a terrific 3 days here for all the Blue Jay fans.
They were expecting colder weather, so they had their long sleeves and their sweaters and their long pants, and it's been like 85, 90 degrees like it's July.
It's the last week of September. Teoscar Hernandez is 1 for 3. He's facing David Price. Then a squibber out in front of home. That's a foul ball.
What a weapon David Price would be if he pitches out of the bullpen. I don't think he's built up enough to make starts in the playoffs. They're trying to get him there, but I just don't think he's had enough innings that John Farrell can start him in the playoffs. But what a weapon in the middle innings.
There's that cutter on the outside. 2nd strikeout of the inning for Price.
He's got experience. He's not afraid to pitch in big games. And if you need a guy who can give you 3, maybe even 4 innings out of that bullpen, save your setup man, you'll get this. That cutter, we've seen it for years. A lot of break on it. John Farrell was telling us in spring training that at the beginning of March, David Price was throwing the ball better than anybody on their team. Remember how he used to recoil when he would throw the ball? He said he was getting out over his front foot, and he was really finishing off his pitches better than he had ever seen him.
And then he hurt his elbow.
And he hurt his elbow.
Yeah, he had worked hard on his flexibility in the offseason, and he did yoga. He got very limber, very loose in his delivery. And I mean, Farrell was raving about Price in the spring. We saw him before the game started, and then, of course, he overdid it early on and didn't pitch until the 29th of May.
Watch how he's finishing out over his front foot, really finishing his delivery.
Two and 1 to Donaldson.
That type of finish and that mechanics, that should take a lot of pressure off of your arm. Before he would throw the ball and recoil, almost stand straight up and finish his pitches. Now he's getting over that front leg.
He is ripped into the second deck. He might have gone right into a sweep. Got them all moving around, that's for sure. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. We're in the 7th inning. David Price came in to close out the 6th. He has 2 strikeouts here in the 7th. They've got safety glass here, and it's a good thing they do. You can see that ball hit that glass and shattered it, but it's safety glass, as you would expect here in the ballpark. 3-2. Fouled straight back.
This is a great matchup. A hot hitter, a great hitter in Donaldson versus a really good pitcher in David Price.
Price picked up his first postseason save in Game 7 of the LCS for Tampa Bay against the Boston Red Sox. Donaldson is called out on strikes. David Price strikes out the side in the 7th. He could be a terrific weapon for the Red Sox in the postseason.
Season tickets are now on sale. Purchase season tickets and automatically become enrolled in My Blue Jays. Learn more by visiting BlueJays.com. Home half of the 7th, we go back up to Buck Martinez and Pat Tabler.
Thank you very much, Hazel. Blue Jay fans can look ahead to that schedule, and they will see that the Boston Red Sox will be at Rogers Center starting on April 24th. It's a 3-game series, 24th, 25th, and 26th, the last week of April. It's the first time the Red Sox will be at Rogers Center. Look out, Jerry. Jerry Howard was dodging and ducking over there to our right. He got a foul ball up there in his vicinity. He did a nice job of hanging in there that time.
He's still frozen. Still frozen. Joe will take care of it.
Yeah, and the way he'll explain it tonight on the airplane was, well, I was diving for it and just barely missed it. Take a look at this foul ball and watch Jerry Howard up in the radio booth. Look out, Jerry. They went next door, but he says, yeah, I said I had it, I caught it, and I tossed it to that girl next door just to give her a souvenir.
That's what he's going to tell us tonight.
Ramirez swings and misses. Hanley Ramirez against Carlos Ramirez, and Carlos in his 2nd inning of relief. He had a 1-2-3 6th inning.
made it look easy in that inning. 1, 2, 3. Bogarts, Pedroia, and Benintendi. Now 1 strike away from getting Ramirez just off the plate. Hanley's like the Blue Jays. Over his last 12 games, he's had 5 home runs. He's also had some game-winning hits against the Blue Jays. They need his bat in the postseason.
Had a game-winning hit against the Jays the last time they were here in the first week of September. Breaking ball. Side. Carlos Ramirez pitched here at Fenway on the 6th of September. That was his 3rd big league appearance. He'd made 2 appearances in Baltimore. Came into Fenway, pitched 2 good innings, had a walk and a strikeout. Obviously, everybody is pleased with the way he has pitched, and he'll get a long look in spring training next year. See whether or not he can be part of that bullpen, and that's one area where there's a pretty consistent amount of turnover in everybody's bullpen. There's a slider. Ramirez strikes out.
Make your projects go further with 2 times the Aeroplan miles when you shop at Home Hardware and Building Center locations from September 20th to 27th.
Another full house here at Fenway Park. The Red Sox magic number to clinch the AL East is 3. Any combination of their wins and Yankee losses that add up to 3, and they will clinch the AL East for a 2nd straight season. Mitch Moreland's in his first year with the Red Sox, signed as a free agent, signed a 1-year contract. Had a good year last year, won his first Gold Glove, playing for the Texas Rangers.
I don't know the answer to this, so I'm going to throw it out at you. You were just talking about Carlos Ramirez in spring training next year. There's a lot of turnover. He's been in the organization a few years. Would he be getting close?
I know what you're going to ask.
Yeah.
Does he have to be protected because he started out as a position player and now he's a pitcher? That's an interesting question.
And how many years has he been where they have to protect him, I guess,
right.
is the bottom line.
Yeah.
So we might see him in spring training because he might be, you don't want to expose him to
has to be put on the 40-man roster.
I wouldn't expose this guy to Rule 5. He'd be picked up easily.
But it's interesting, and I'm sure I know the answer, but it would be kind of an adjustment if you'd say, okay, well, he was a position player for the first 3 years, didn't start pitching until 2014, so basically this is his 4th season. Do we have to protect him at that point? I think they do, coming into spring training.
Yeah. So you might see him on the 40-man roster, see him in spring training, and options become part of the equation then when you get down to the end of spring training.
This is a long drive toward the pesky pole, and it is a fair ball. Mitch Moreland makes his 21st home run just around the pesky pole in deep right field. And the Red Sox have scored 10 tonight.
You're always looking for those add-on runs late in ball games when you have the lead. From 9-5 to 10-5. Doubles the score with that swing of the bat. Another slider that just stayed on the inner half and just stayed right there. Good left-handed batters are going to hit that ball hard. That's the type of home run or type of pitch that he gave up to Mike Moustakas, a little slider that stayed out over the plate.
Christian Vasquez is 1 for 2, and he hits a liner right to Barney, 2nd out of the inning. Vasquez now 1 for 3 with a walk. Rafael Devers will bat with 2 outs and nobody on. Devers is 0 for 3.
doubt he saw Ramirez in AAA. I'm assuming.
Good slider there. That one had a little more depth to it. Fly ball to right. Bautista gives way to Pilar, who catches it in the alley in right center. Mitch Moreland hits a one-out home run, his 21st home run of the season, and we'll go to the 8th. 10-5 Boston. Of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays baseball partnership. Beautiful shot of Fenway Park, the Mass Turnpike to the right, just beyond the green monster in Lansdowne Street. We have made it to the 8th inning, and new pitcher for Boston will be the big right-hander Addison Reed.
What a job by David Price. An inning and a third, 3 strikeouts. Now it's over to the setup man, Addison Reed. In 74 games combined with the Mets and the Boston Red Sox, he's 2-3. His ERA 2.96. He's had 76 strikeouts in 74 games. He also has had 19 saves. He had that when he was with the Mets. Picked him up from the Mets right at the trade deadline for 3 minor leaguers. He had a 10-game scoreless streak snapped here on Monday by the Blue Jays. That was the Ryan Goins home run. He wrapped around that pole down the right field line. He hit that in the 9th inning.
For the Blue Jays, it'll be Smoke, Bautista, and Morales, 3, 4, and 5 in the Blue Jays batting order. Smoke had an RBI double in the first. Blue Jays scored 3 in the first, but they couldn't make it hold up. Ground ball. That is Devers, the third baseman, playing in the shift. 1 out. Drive of the Game is brought to you by the powerful all-new 2017 Civic Type R.
Well, how many times have we said this? Jose Bautista goes deep at Fenway Park. First inning, hanging breaking ball from Rick Porcello, and Porcello gives up his 37th home run of the season. Jose Bautista with a 2-run home run. That gave the Blue Jays a 3-0 lead. That's also tonight's drive of the game.
For Bautista, that's his 6th career home run against Rick Porcello. He has hit the most home runs against Porcello. Bautista and Brad Miller were tied coming into this game tonight. They both hit 5. That's popped up again back behind home. Porcello has now given up 21 home runs to the Blue Jays. That's the most he has surrendered to an opponent. Bautista got him in the first. Barney got him in the fourth. Vasquez just on top of the screen. He was there just in case, but it's on the screen. Chris Rowley and Danny Barnes, a couple of right-handers loosening up. Blue Jays have an off day tomorrow, so they might be getting some throwing in. You might see Rowley pitch the bottom of the 8th inning. Danny Barnes might just be getting some work in. Final season of the series will start Friday afternoon in New York against the Yankees. Now Bogarts takes his time and Bautista's retired.
You can see why Reed is so tough. Little sinker slider. Slider he throws it 27% of the time. It's got some late bite to it. Tough on right-handers. It's a good pickup, I think, for the Red Sox.
Well, they have really done a nice job of continuing to search for good arms. They brought Carson Smith over here, and he had Tommy John surgery, but he's back throwing well now.
We were facing them earlier this season, and you and I were talking about the Red Sox, and we were like, who's going to set up for them when they get deep into the season or into the postseason? Really didn't have that one guy where you said he's their setup guy. Well, they do now. He's closed. He's pitched in big ball games before, and between he and Kimbrel, it's a pretty good ending to a ball game. 8th and 9th inning.
Reed's just 28 years old. He'll play all season next year at 29, and man, that is a high fastball that Morales rips into right. He went up and tomahawked it into right. A 2-out single for Morales, his second hit tonight.
0-2. Do not throw a high fastball to Kendry Morales. This is an 0-2 fastball. He tries to throw it up around the letters, and it's right where he likes it with 2 strikes. He can hit anybody's fastball as long as it's over the plate.
Reed's got kind of an unusual delivery. It's almost like he starts falling toward home plate before he lifts up that front foot. Kind of a deceptive type of delivery. A little bit of movement right there. You can see just a very subtle move forward. Pilar hits it in the air to right. Rajay Davis coming in. The Blue Jays are retired in the top of the 8th. Now time for Blue Jays Central Left Take. Here's Jamie Camp with Greg Zahn in the Samsung broadcast studio. Here in the bottom of the 8th inning at Fenway Park. Crowd sings Sweet Caroline. Neil Diamond leads them, and the Blue Jay fans, they get involved just as well. Chris Rowley will come on to pitch the bottom of the 8th, as we suspected. This is his 6th appearance of the season.
He has not worked in 10 days. Last time he worked was in that game at Minnesota, where he gave up 6 runs on 6 hits in just an inning. So they want to get him back out there. He has made 3 starts for the Blue Jays. At times he has done really well. He's been pitching out of the bullpen over the last couple of weeks, so he gets a chance to get some work here in the 8th inning.
Rowley will face Rajay Davis, Jackie Bradley Jr., then Xander Bogaerts.
You know, it's really tough, especially on a young player, when you've got 10 days in between appearances. Before that outing in Minnesota, it was 12 days before Chris pitched. So, you know, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place if you're the manager. You're trying to get these guys in there. You want to see them, but you can't pitch them all. There's just too many arms down there in the bullpen.
Now, obviously, you're going to go with the hot hand. This has popped up smoke over near the Red Sox dugout. He's got room, and Davis is retired. Well, now let's check in with Jamie Campbell. Joe Madden and the Cubs deserve a lot of credit at the All-Star break. Everybody was ready to write them off, and Joe said, hey, we're going to get our starting pitching sorted out. And they did. And they came back and won the division for the 2nd straight year. Jackie Bradley Jr. has had a tough night. 0 for 4. Now he is 0 for 29. Trying to bust that slump before the regular season ends. Chris Rowley with 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th. Now back to the top of the order. Xander Bogaerts has had a big night. Brandon Workman loosening up for Boston.
They have moved Xander Bogaerts into that leadoff spot, and I think he likes what he sees. Got high on-base percentage, starting to produce again offensively. He's got 4 RBIs tonight. A single and a 3-run home run.
Second time he's driven in 4 in a game. He had a 4 RBI game down in Houston against the Astros on the 18th of June. For the season, he now has 61 ribs. Scored a pair of runs. He has scored 93 runs. Bogaerts is one of those young players, an everyday player that never wants to come out of the lineup, but he was playing with a bad hand for much of the season. And robbed him of his power. But he looks healthy now. He had a big 3-run home run in the 3rd.
That one opened up the game. 3-run homer, part of a 5-run inning. They had him hitting in the upper parts of the lineup last year. This year they weren't real sure what they wanted to do. If they wanted to hit him 5th or 6th in RBI situation, that didn't work out. They moved him back up there, and his on-base percentage is up over 400 now.
Ground ball, base hit for Bogaerts. His 3rd hit of the night. Three for 5 for the Red Sox shortstop.
He is an excellent 2-strike hitter. A 2-strike hit as Rowley tries to run that fastball in on his hands, but he's too quick. Gets it by Goins into left field. Been on base 3 times. He scored a couple of runs.
Bogaerts' 2-strike batting average coming into this game was .237. So that's about 70 points higher than the league average.
Yeah, it's like 176 or something like that with 2 strikes. Impressive.
Dustin Pedroia back in the lineup tonight, and picked up a couple of singles to right. Had an RBI in the 2nd. Been dealing with a bad knee. Set him on a disabled list a couple of times this season. Hits this hot shot short up by Donaldson. Pedroia is swinging the bat fine, just not running 100% just yet. He's retired. Rowley gets out of it. 2-out single and nothing more. Martin, Goins, and Barney will face Brandon Workman when we come back for the ninth.
Presented by the all-new Honda VersaTach. Meet our ultimate yard work companion with up to 7 interchangeable attachments.
The iconic Citgo sign, always present here in Fenway Park. It's been here for years. Everybody sees it when they come to the ballpark. Blue Jays trail 10-5 as they are ready to bat in the ninth. The new pitcher will be Brandon Workman. The Workman reliever will make his 32nd appearance of the season.
He was a number 2 round draft pick by the Red Sox out of the University of Texas in 2010. He was a starter in the minor leagues up until 2014. Had Tommy John surgery 2015. Rock Holt takes over at second base. At Tommy John surgery 2015, they made him a reliever, and it's worked out nice for him. Fastball, good curveball from Workman.
Russell Martin has gone 0 for 3 with a strikeout. New York leads Tampa Bay 6-1. They're in the bottom of the 7th at Yankee Stadium. If these scores hold up, of course, the Red Sox magic number will drop to 2.
And they get the Houston Astros for 4.
Yeah, and Houston, yeah, their situation has been resolved, all but the possibility of having the best record in the American League, which is important. Home field advantage at stake.
What's Cleveland doing tonight? They're up 4-0.
4-0, bottom of the 8th. So that will give Cleveland their 99th win, and Houston has 98. Martin was called out on strikes. Now for a preview of what's coming up next on Sportsnet Central, here's Carly Agro and Ken Reed. Well, certainly that would be tough news for everybody, as he had such a great career, but hasn't been able to stay healthy. That's all coming up after this show, so make sure you stay tuned. Ryan Goins, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts. Boston pitchers have recorded 12 strikeouts tonight. Hernandez, Donaldson, Martin, Goins, and Barney all striking out twice.
Porcello had 8. Bryce had 3. Workman has the 1.
Fly ball to center now. Bradley giving ground. It's there at the wall. He jumps and it's off the wall. Goins will check in at second base with a 1-out double. His 20th double of the season.
Ryan showing some pop and some power. He homered here on Monday night down the right field line. Gets into this fastball and drills it to center field. Jackie Bradley thinks he's got a beat on it, but it's just too high off the wall. One of the better center fielders in baseball. Just can't get there. It's just out of his reach.
Goins had a pinch base hit RBI last night. In the opener, he had 3 hits, including that home run that Pat mentioned. He was 3 for 4. He's a good series. Darwin Barney was the scheduled batter. He's going to give way to Michael Saunders, pinch hitting. Numbers for the season just over 200. Numbers between Philadelphia and the Blue Jays. Michael making just his 10th appearance for the Jays. He is 3 for 12. Had a couple of pinch hit at bats and a couple of pinch hits in 4 at bats. It's this one on the ground. Brock Holt has it, and Saunders is retired. Blue Jays down to their final out. Goins went to third on the ground out. Brandon Workman trying to close things out here as the Red Sox appear as though they're going to salvage the final game of this 3-game series. It'll be their 92nd win of the season. And they'll maintain their 3-game lead over the Yankees. Swinging a high drive to left. This guy is on fire. Teoscar Hernandez hits it out of the ballpark. A 2-run home run. His 3rd home run of the series. His 8th home run. And his 19th and 20th RBI of the month.
It is not over yet. Not with the guys that are coming up. Unbelievable. First pitch hitting, fastball. And what's impressive is the track of the bat. That's the one thing that we've noticed this month. He's made us some adjustments at the plate. He squared his body up and watch the path of the bat. That is how you get through a baseball. And we've said it about 3 or 4 times. They're not cheap home runs. None of these are cheap home runs. This one actually left Fenway Park and just took off, 4-seam fastball. Watch how he gets through it and then finishes that high arcing home run. 8 home runs now for Teoscar.
2 more hits tonight. He has 22 hits. That ties 3 rookies previously for the Blue Jays for the most hits for a September call-up. 8 home runs. That's twice as many as the next hitter, Russ Adams, who had 4. These are all rookie numbers for September call-ups. He now has 20 RBIs, 10 more than the same Russ Adams.
16 home runs this year in the minor leagues. He's halfway there in a couple of weeks in the big leagues.
It's amazing how small, subtle adjustments can unlock a young player's talent.
The adjustment of squaring up the body towards the pitcher. Remember when he first came up, he was closed off. They have him standing upright just a little bit more. And there you go.
1 and 2 to Donaldson. Foul ball, pulled foul. Teoscar Hernandez is 24 years old. He's got 8 home runs since coming to the big leagues. When Jose Bautista first came to Toronto, he was 27. And his career obviously took off.
With some subtle changes to his swing.
Donaldson, that's the line to the first baseman. He hit it hard, but that's the ball game. The Blue Jays fall short. They lose 10-7, but they win the series 2-1. And Teoscar Hernandez and Josh Donaldson put on a show here at Fenway for 3 days.
What a 3 games for those two. Donaldson had a couple of hits. He was just robbed of his 3rd hit by that play by the Gold Glover at first base. Teoscar Hernandez with another 2-hit game tonight, another home run.